Hi, my name is Matt Crye, and I'm a teacher in CPS at Social Justice High School. And this summer I had the pleasure and the honor of being a technology teacher with the Summer Academy at Roosevelt University. This summer, the thing that keeps coming back to me throughout this year as I think back on the summer is the Symposium that we had at the end of the program. And the Symposium was an opportunity for all of the students to put together everything that they'd worked on all summer long and to really showcase all the work they'd put into it for the other students in the program, to show them everything they've been working on, but also to show that and showcase that for their families as well, their brothers and their sisters, their parents, who were able to all come out and see just everything they'd put together. And I just remember them being so excited about the moment where they got to show everybody else what they'd done. They had this nervous energy, but just to see how proud they were of the work that they'd done and what they'd been able to create, and then just to see how proud their families were of them, was just this great ending, just a wonderful summer program. One of the things I really enjoyed about the program is just being able to see that every day kids coming in and being excited about the program, being able to come in and be excited about what they could create. That was really one of the big focuses of the summer program, that they could create something, they could design something. And to see them come in and figure out ways to work with each other to create this car bot that would move around the room, and a car topper that they could put on top to accomplish some kind of purpose. And to see them come in every day and get to use some new technology they hadn't worked with before, to get them to see how they could problem solve and brainstorm things together. And that was just something that was really exciting for me to come in every day with. One of the things that I really enjoyed about the program is the opportunity that I had to try some new things out. There's just some great staff to work with at the Chicago Teacher Center, and with just the program on the site, and other teachers from around the city. And we got to share ideas. We got to collaborate together. We got to come up with different ways of working with our students. In fact, I love how the program starts off with one full week just to plan and prepare before the students even get there. And this is just working on curriculum, getting together with the people who've designed it, deciding how we're going to carry this out, getting comfortable with what we're going to do, and really working with other teachers to do that. And that's one of the things I loved, is just really being able to work with other professionals and educators to create this program. So often I feel isolated in my own classroom, and this was an opportunity to really be working with other people in a program that was flexible, that could adjust, that could really meet the kids right where they were at, without the pressures of some kind of test at the end, or some kind of standardized outcome that I had to make sure they accomplished in 45 minutes. I was able to really see true learning happen and develop with these students. And that's something that just took me back to the heart of what I enjoy about teaching so much, is that process of seeing true, authentic learning happen with kids, seeing them grow and develop. And I really got an opportunity to see that this summer, just with the flexibility with the program, with the partnerships that we were able to have with Museum of Science and Industry, where we were able to have students create and design these car toppers, and then go to the Museum of Science and Industry where they actually cut them out, and the kids got to see what they'd actually been able to create. And these acrylic toppers, and get to put them together and just to feel like they've accomplished so much and have been able to step outside so much of what they're used to being able to do in a regular old classroom. And so that was something that I just really enjoyed and appreciated about the program. As teachers, we often remember those stories with our students, and I just remember a small group of kids that three young men that were working together to create their car bot and to get it to move around. And I just remember how much they grew throughout the summer. They started off in a group where they didn't necessarily agree. They had one kid who wanted to do something completely different than their other two, and I remember seeing in the beginning of the program that they would just kind of have a little argument, and then they would just stop talking to each other. Wouldn't resolve anything. They would just kind of stop, and they needed me as their teacher to really step in and just to tell them what to do, because they weren't going to agree. And I remember seeing that at the beginning of the program, and I remember throughout the time being able to sit down and work with them. And because they had to create something together, they couldn't just leave each other alone and ignore each other. They had to figure out some kind of resolution. They had to figure out some kind of solution. And so I remember being able to get to sit down and talk with them and work through that with them and help them to figure out, okay, well, how can we talk through and come to a resolution that we're all comfortable with? How can we come up with some kind of solution that we all can move forward with? And to see them as they did that throughout the summer, and they did that many times and through a lot of tension and a lot of times when they just didn't see eye to eye, to see them at the end of the program when they didn't just like stop talking to each other when there was a conflict, that they really worked it out. And they figured out together something they could all be happy with. And just to see the way that they were proud of their carbot that they'd created at the end of the program at that symposium. And they were proud not only of what they'd done individually, but what they'd been able to do together. And I think I saw them really develop into a team that they could be really proud of each other at the end of the program. So one of the things I really appreciated about the summer was the opportunity that it gave me to try out some new things. To try out to figure out some ways to like, are there other ways that I can have students work together in groups and work well together? And so I got to try out some new things and have some other educators with me to help me think it through and to try it out in the classroom. And just to see that, and that's something I've been able to take back with me as I go back into my classroom that I'm in every day throughout the school year, and to take some of those ideas and try them out now with my students after kind of being able to experiment with them throughout the summer. And that's something I really appreciate about the program, is it gave me an opportunity to try out new things I hadn't been able to try before, or I'd been worried about trying before. And I didn't have to worry about a high stakes test at the end of it. I could just experiment, I could learn, I could grow as a teacher. And that's one of the ways the program gave back to me.